All right.
Oh, wait. I was just about to type in the YT chat. Technical difficulties, but
There's no technical difficulties. I like to keep them, let's get them built up there. Let's get them
it's
anticipation rise,
yeah, right?
you know?
What's going on?
The Nexus.
Oh, Edward, don't start. Don't make me regret doing this down here.
Just getting myself started. Welcome everybody to Splintered Spirits Live. Hope everybody can hear us okay. If you're on TikTok watching, you have a better experience over on YouTube, just so you know. That's what I'm looking at over there.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello. Welcome. Oh, we got a nice little crowd here. All right. Off to a big start, 25. Let's see if this new time slot pays off.
Yeah.
If you're here, welcome. And be sure to follow, like, subscribe to all things Splintered Spirits.
Yes.
John, what's going on? How was your day?
My day was good. Cleaned a couple of graves, baked in the sun. It was nice.
Baked in the sun?
Yeah, it was nice.
That's better. I can hear you a little better with these on there.
All
right. How'd it go? Did you get any good stuff? Any spirits give you any business?
Yeah, a couple spirits who were responsive. So I still have to go through the replays, see if it's hard to hear over the scrubbing. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta figure out a way. Maybe you could put like an earbud in one ear and have the speaker for the audience and have an earbud in another ear so you can hear it.
Oh, maybe. I got to see if I could do that. So while I'm scrubbing, see the whole. Listen, it's funny because there's so many good ideas, right? And so many things you could do.
You don't understand.
All right, Edward, stay out of this conversation.
Yes, Edward.
All right,
our favorite ghost, guys. That's Edward. For anybody new.
So the simpler, the better. You know what I mean? Like the more technical, the more stress on me.
Negative.
Which makes I have a miserable experience.
Right. It's a lot of moving parts.
If I'm having a miserable experience, the live isn't going to be good. I'm going to be off my game.
I get it, man. It's like even setting up here. It's like I'm just sitting at my desk and it's like, oh, right. Let me get the phone going because I can't simulcast to TikTok. And it's like, oh, do I have my headphones in? And is this hooked in? Everything becomes an absolute pain in the ass with the more little pieces that you have.
Yes.
I get it. For sure.
Yep. So, and the other thing, like a little insight to the tech, we were kind of talking about this last night. And so me and Gary were just having, a tech chat. And like, when I go to a spot, like I literally have to look and wait to see what phone is going to give me the best service for the stream.
Oh, God.
I literally have Boost Mobile, T-Mobile, Verizon, and I have to, look and see, okay, let me walk over here. Service is good. Let me walk over here. Service is good.
How did you get here?
And you know exactly how I got here, unless you're talking to somebody else, Edward. So it's the tech aspect of it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's why like people always like, oh, this is fake. This is fake. Yo, there is no way I would be able to fake this.
You know what I found today? Speaking of tech that I wish I could use, I found my old Razor. This was my favorite phone. A Razor flip phone. Dude, look at the size of it, first of all. It's dope. I mean, it was like, if I could go back to this universe, and I love the idea of closing a phone.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like official. Conversation over.
Yeah, it's over, right? Like it just ends.
It's it. Conversation over.
And I don't know if you're like me, dude, but everywhere in my house, if you're, I don't know, do you have like just cables? Like cables for plugs, different plugs for different things. I have boxes of plugs, and that's where I found this. Is I was looking for a certain USB, and it was like, and oh, look at this. I don't know why the hell I have it, or I have all these cables. Like I'm ever gonna need some sort of firewire fit like thing with an other end that sticks it to the. It's the stupidest shit, but All right, we got a lively bunch. I like to start the chat off. We did this. We had this fun thing yesterday to get the chat riled, and I got a new one for him.
Get them riled up.
Here's the new question for everybody. Let's hear what you have to say. Feel free to dive in. Breakfast cereal.
Where is it?
We all know breakfast cereal. Anything. Doesn't matter what breakfast cereal. Don't ask me what about grape nuts. It doesn't matter. It could be Cheerios, Apple Jacks who cares? You put in a bowl, you pour milk on top. And don't start saying, but what if it's oat milk? You understand what I'm saying when I say cereal. Is cereal soup?
It's cold soup. It's cold soup.
What's everybody think? Is cereal soup? Does it count as soup?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some no's. I'm seeing some LOLs.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Cold soup.
Let's get this chat warmed up. Let's get the heat.
Electric.
I think so.
Yeah, let it bring it. Let's make it electric. No, I'm getting some no's. Yes. No, this is controversial. Cold soup. No, milk isn't broth. So apparently someone thinks soup requires, by definition, broth.
Broth.
I'm seeing some no's on TikTok. I'm seeing no's.
But doesn't gravy?
Gravy?
Don't you use gravy. When you make gravy, don't you use broth?
I don't know. Now you're adding a whole new food group in here.
I don't know.
But it's like, let's just stick with soup. What defines soup? I would just think it would be like stuff. Is a soup different than a stew? Is that what you're saying?
Floating. Well, a stew isn't a stew when you take milk and soup and combine the two, you get a stew.
Rest in peace.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but look, people are fired up. We got a lot of controversy with this. Is cereal soup? Wow.
Someone said, I think Becky said, I stopped eating. It's bad for you.
That's funny. That is funny.
Over here.
Oh my God. All right. That's all right. That's fun. That was a fun one. That's a fun one to get it going. All right, dude. So where are we at with Splintered Spirits? We dropped episode 9 this week, which is a fun one. We told some really fun ghost stories.
Yep. We had a pop-up live yesterday.
Yep. We had a fun pop-up live yesterday, and we're really sort of getting to that question of, we're still examining the spirit world, in a big way, and like, what are spirits, right? And what is John in relation to spirits, and how does he make it work?
Still going on about this.
In that vein of what spirits are, we ask you all for ghost submissions. We love it. Thank you for doing that. But I want to talk about a theme that we got this week. But before I get into that, Johnny, I want to talk to the audience for real here for a second. And as you submit these things to us. And if English is a second language, then this does not apply to you. Thank you. It's great. But when you type something and submit it, I'm going to ask you, all of you in the audience, I'm not going to give you a lecture because some of you really hate punctuation or periods or commas or grammar in general. Read it out loud. Read it out loud to yourself. And before you hit submit, because if you're reading what I'm reading, I'm very afraid of the state of education in America. It's really hard. It's real hard to read. I mean, look, I'm sorry. I say this with peace and love, guys. Like, we get a lot of submissions, and it's like, I can't even read them here today, John, because it's like, I think I would sound really stupid, and I would make the audience dumber by reading them out. Like we wouldn't be able to understand.
Block on the wall.
We wouldn't understand it. So it's like, listen, all I'm not asking you to take an English class.
Did you miss
or go back to school?
No. Sorry.
Edward, it's not even, and Robin, it's not even spell check. This is Edward. Like stream of conscious. Just read it out loud. Read it out loud. And if you can do that, which I'm willing to bet they can't, once they read it out loud, they'll be like, oh, what did I just write?
Yeah.
Then fix it. Then hit.
Well, because you know what it is. You know what it is. It actually has nothing to do with education. It has to do with the fact they get in the zone and they're literally dictating their thoughts.
How I use it.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They've lost all sense of like sort of
structure,
how to write a letter and structure.
Yeah.
So anyway,
because they're getting excited and they're telling the story. And I don't think it's an education or a grammar or anything like that. I really think they just get in the zone and they're literally putting their thoughts on paper. But when you do that, you do have to read it out loud. It's
you got to
always
read it
the
out loud.
best course of action for anything that you type and write.
Read it out loud.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. The
Read it
thing
out
that
loud.
I want to talk about, then I got a couple of them, are dreams. People have been submitting dreams as like, and then seeing something after the dream or related to the dream or something that reminds them of the dream as like a ghost story. John, what is your philosophy on dreams and how this could potentially relate to what people see in ghosts? I hope you guys on TikTok can hear John. I have the mic up by the speaker, but if not, go to YouTube. You'll see the whole thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I love dreams. I don't dream. I have too much cannabis floating in my system. It stops dreaming from happening. Okay. But
sad.
that electronic voice, for those who are new or don't know, that is a spirit called Edward in this haunted basement. Go ahead.
And I have a firm belief that when, as you know, the theory, blah, 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 we die, our energy scatters. I do believe that some of that energy gravitates towards DNA or people with very strong feelings. Okay. Towards one another.
Okay.
I really do. And I believe that energy, when it's in us, whether it's ancestral, whether, it's somebody close to you died and you got some of their energy, I do believe that when you're sleeping, it's one of the easiest ways for it to come through. So when people say, "Oh, I was visited by a loved one in my dream," I correct them and say, "No, I don't think you were visited. I think that person never left you, and this is the easiest time for them to communicate with you right now."
Closer.
While they're asleep.
While they're asleep.
So you would say then, just help me understand what you're saying. So it's like, are you saying a dream is not really a dream? It's
No, not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes it could just be as simple as a dream. I just think that sometimes that energy that's in us translates in our dreams better than it does when we're awake.
My baby.
Ooh, my baby. Let's see if I can try to decipher one of these to see what this dream was. I
love dream stories.
All right, I'll try to read this. This comes from we know this name, Mona Me. Okay. I don't know if she wants me to read a real name, but it's from Mona Me, who you probably see.
Okay. Yep.
I recognize that name. So it's like, let's see, nothing really crazy. Her husband was playing with a spirit board when he was just out of the army. Nothing really crazy happened with the spirit board that night while they were actually doing it. But when he went to sleep, he had the most wildest, vivid dreams. He was He was running, period. He said it was almost like a Beetlejuice episode where they were in the desert and all those weird, strange, demon-looking animals were chasing him and the girl across the street. And he remembers waking up the next day and going outside, and the girl had lived 3 houses down, was standing on her porch and started screaming at him. What did you do to me last night? She had the exact same dream that he had. He also said for the next few days, they were just weird, just didn't seem right. But there was a phone, but the phone was ringing. He answered it, and it was a sister. And it was sister. And I don't know I don't even know what this means. You called me. Anyway, so okay. I think the thing is here, he was playing with a spirit board. If I'm deciphering this, then he had a crazy weird dream night. And then like shit got weird for him for a few days. So this is almost like What? Like maybe he opened some door? Because you always say that spirit board is intent.
Yes, it's intent. So
Tell
it's a
people what intent means
possibility.
to those of anybody who
So
might be
yeah,
new.
I was having trouble following the story, but I got the gist.
Dude, I'm reading it. I'm having
Um,
trouble following it.
um, yeah, I can tell you
I
this.
can't hear you.
I can tell you this. It's pretty crazy if with the neighbor having the same dream and the strange occurrences afterward, if that wasn't part of the dream, then that's wild. That means that whatever he did, he opened up a channel to something, strong. If it was able to affect the neighbor, like that's what I'm wondering. Like, was that in the dream, the neighbor
What
being
brought you
affected,
here?
or was did the neighbor actually have the same dream? Because that's pretty wild.
It's hard to make out, dude, because there's no periods in the
Gotcha.
entire 50 line. There's like 3 periods in the whole thing. It's very hard to decipher. Monami, we love you, but it's like you gotta read it out loud, then sit.
Spirit
But
boards are dangerous.
yeah. Um, okay. I mean,
They
so
can be
that
very dangerous. It's a tool. All tools are dangerous.
let's see if I got another dream in here that's easier to vacuum. That's not really not a lot of evidence. No, it's much more. Okay. My then toddler son. This is from.
Is this yours?
Oh, this is from here. This is another name I recognize. Typo Mama Lisa.
This is from Mama Lisa. Okay.
Okay. My then toddler son and I laid on the couch to take a nap while his dad laid on the floor. We were having heavy snow that day. I dreamt I was younger and at an older house at a party, sitting on the couch facing an arched entry. Party, sitting on a couch facing an arched entryway. That's an incomplete sentence, guys. When you read it, it's very hard to figure out what you're saying. To the left, a staircase, and to the right, a front door, neither of which you can see from the couch. We all hear the door open, and in walks my deceased grandpa. He didn't speak. He had his hands in his pockets of his pea coat. He grinned at me and turned and left. By the time I walked to the door, he was nowhere in sight. It was enough to wake me out of the dream, and the house was cold. I automatically thought, it's cold because it was my grandpa and maybe he was there. My son and his dad were still sound asleep. I tried to fall back to sleep, but realized the house was truly cold, but not because of the spirit. I went to investigate, and the mudroom door was open with enough drifted snow to have put out the pilot light.
They're here.
We still like to believe to this day that my grandpa made me go to the door in my dream to make me go to the door so we didn't get hurt from the gas.
Oh, wow.
So that's all right. So that one is a little bit easier to decipher. So she's saying she dreamt of her grandfather by the door but that's so she could get up to then see a potential problem.
Yeah. So what's
I don't know
cool
if that's
about that
that feels
dream-
like a chicken and the egg kind of situation where it's like probably her body's cold and she needs to get up because it was cold.
But what's cool about that whole dream is the fact that her grandfather interrupted the dream she was having. She was having a dream that she was at, her, at some random house at a party when she was younger. That's what she was dreaming about. And then all of a sudden her grandfather comes walking through the door. Completely turned that dream upside down, which is wild.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, the whole thing with the pilot light, I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. It's all right. I mean, so do you think cool. Do you think that that could really be spirit connection or okay.
I do. I think that could be a spirit connection. I mean, listen, it could be as simple as she's cold, she wakes up, the outside interference of her environment is affecting her dream state. That happens. We've all had dreams, especially when we were younger, where someone's calling you in your dream, but in reality they're trying to wake you up.
Right.
Like that's a thing that does happen. So the cold can do it too. However, if it was the cold that did it, right?
Right.
Wouldn't the house party be cold? Wouldn't the door have blown open by itself and let some cold air in? Why was it her grandfather?
It's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Good one. Thank you for that. Thank you for submitting. Anybody wondering, Cass, you're wondering where to submit things? Splinteredspirits.com is where you can go. We have a tab that says ghost stories. You could put in anything there. You could put in questions. Just ghost stories is easy to write and clear, right? That's where you can submit your name. If you have evidence of a ghost story, even better for us. That's like wonderful. We'd show it. We talk about it. Everybody could see it. This is a visual medium after all. We'd love to see it. But you can ask us questions. You can ask us advice, ghost stories, dreams. We want to hear anything you think might be weird. That's sort of the, or unexplained rather. That's what we're into. That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really have any books on dreams. I mean, I think that maybe that's something we should explore in terms of like a weird thing. Not to get too Freudian about the whole thing, but there might be a weird
dream interpretation is it's one of those things where, it could go either way. It's a dream.
Where are we?
We're in the basement.
It's an interesting topic. Dreams have always been interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Especially ones that the dead are involved in.
I never talked to, I never asked Kathy about dreams. She interprets things. Kathy, for those who don't know, was our psychic medium friend and guest of the show. We've had her on a bunch of times.
Where are we?
What she does that I love isn't dreams.
Follow
but
you.
She actually, did you know that she reads coffee? Did you know that?
Like tea leaves, but
yeah,
like coffee.
but like coffee. So
Yeah.
she has you drink coffee and then she does a reading based on it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just like, for me, that's like the best. And she wrote a book on it. I mean, let me grab all of our favorite guests have books, guys. If you don't see it, this is hers. If you can read it, seeing more than clouds in your coffee is one of her books. And if Kathy was great. And if you go to my link tree or go to my bio anywhere, we have links to all the books of all of our guests. Hers, Lloyd's book, who taught me how to give me the crash course in ghost hunting. All these books that we have links to for our guests.
I can't hear you.
Well, I'll speak up. Do I have to get louder? Who can't hear me?
No, you don't have to get louder.
Can she hear me or is she just playing with me?
Yeah.
Our next guest that we are going to record in a couple of weeks, guys, you should read his book before that one. We don't have an air date for it yet. We haven't even recorded yet, but we have a real great guest coming on. His name is Dr. Cal Cooper, and he wrote a book called Telephone Calls from the Dead. And Cal has done extensive research on people who receive phone calls and how tech really is used in sort of paranormal investigation. I have a link to his book as well in my link tree and in my bio. Check it out. Get it. It's going to be a great one.
Can you hear it?
We're going to have him on for a number of reasons. To talk about, look, we all know John here uses phones quite a bit to talk to spirits. And they talk back, but sometimes they call back.
Yes.
And that's crazy.
And it happens. It happened right when I was live.
And we're going to deep dive into that in a really big way. It's going to be a great one. So, we'll keep you posted when that's going to air. But, if you want to make sure you don't miss it, like, follow, subscribe to Splintered Spirits, wherever you get your podcasts. Go to Spotify, go all these places, log in and do it. But it's going to be a really strong one. What else can we tell the good people here today, John? What do we got? What's on your mind?
Well,
Are you okay?
We could definitely dive right back into that subject, and give everybody a precursor to this episode that we're going to be taping soon.
Yes.
I was live in Indiana at the Randolph County Infirmary. And I'm sitting at the table, and one of my mods was with me, Brian. And I had a couple other mods too. I had Mama Lisa there, her husband Rich. I had MYX. There was a couple of us, and I believe there was also some other people that were there as well, just floating around in the background.
By the way, it all sounds like a hip hop group because of all of their handles. It's like, yeah, I was with Mama Lisa and Brian the Mod and NXT or whatever you just said. It's like all these fucking names. It's like, it's just like, what is going on?
It's the Young Satan posse.
Yeah, sure.
So all of a sudden, now I know this has been going on for a while. He's been having these experiences where his mother passed away and she keeps calling him and she leaves him messages. Okay. I'm not going to get into details about the messages, what they say, none of that. We're going to save all that for the episode. I'm just giving you guys the precursor. I witnessed this. Like this happened to me on live.
Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, we have the video.
And it was just wild. And the look on his face, what the poor guy must have been every time he gets a phone call, what that poor guy's going through. This isn't like she died 10 years ago, even though the pain never goes away. It does, you learn coping mechanisms to deal with it as time goes on. This is fresh. She recently just passed away, and this is happening. And I shit you not, wait until you hear how the both of us describe what she sounds like. That's all I am going to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the voice message she left. We have it, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna share it with you all.
Yeah. Just not tonight.
Not tonight. Not tonight. By the way, John, I've got an awesome troll on YouTube right now. He's awesome.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm leaving him there. I was gonna block him, but I'm just gonna keep him there. He's just a dick, and it's kind of funny. And it's just like, it's just like, just let him go.
Stop.
I mean, it's great. He's saying some funny. He's saying some funny stuff that makes me laugh inside, but it's okay. I like it because it's getting other people riled up. It's great.
So are you talking Aldo? Are you talking about the Johnson dude?
Yeah.
So what's interesting? What's he saying? He's saying that spirits don't exist, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah,
and yet he sits here and watches this.
As he sits here and watches this, I know.
I love
it's funny too because he doesn't realize that the two guys that are on right now are skeptics.
Yeah, man.
We're skeptics. We analyze everything to the point where, we're not convinced most of the time. Hell, in my live streams, when something pops off, I end up arguing with my chat on whether it's paranormal or not. Me saying, nah, I don't think it is. I think it's that,
Oh, yeah, let me be clear. I am no ghost hunter. The last thing I'm going to do is go looking for ghosts. No, thank you. I'm not looking for it. It's like, oh, is that a haunted house? Let me walk inside. Yeah. No. I'm going to go over there. Like, I'm built for comfort. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going into that shithole. It's like, I'm going to go where there's no ghosts.
Listen, as I always say, 90% of what happens on a paranormal anything is bullshit. It's not paranormal. There's common reasons why things are happening.
There's 5.
There's more than 5, Spirit.
No, the fun of this is as a reminder to everybody, right? It's, this guy can call it delusion or all this stuff. And it's like, no one's delusional, but there is, look, how these apps work. We know how they work. We're not idiots. The question is, why does it work this way for John all the time? And people try to copy him with the same apps, but they don't do it. They don't get the results he gets. So I don't know what it is. And there's numerous people who are also not delusional who study this. And by the way, everything was delusional at some point until somebody figured out what it was.
Listen.
I mean, right? Let's just be real. Sure. Like, when we get really long about it. So
sure.
Look.
Hey, listen, you guys know who Galileo is, right? I mean, what happened to that guy?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going on, but it's just sort of fun. Unrelated to the... Oh, I don't know. So it's like, look, for us, Oh, I got some weird. Sorry, I got some weird warning on TikTok about my live is unrelated to the
Where are
products I'm
we?
doing, but this is Splintered Spirits, and I'm selling Splintered Spirits stuff and Santa Paranormal stuff. If you click on links, you can buy a T-shirt. That's what we're talking about here, guys. This is
TikTok.
straight up.
Listen, we
Yeah.
could talk about that for a minute. TikTok is horribly
Well,
fucking up.
I think it's it seems like they're really trying to promote, and look, if that's what your business model is going to
Listen.
be, guys. You want to be a home shopping network or a battle network, that's fine. We'll keep going, and we'll just conduct. You're going to see what we see there, but we're having some fun here, having a weird conversation about ghosts and shit. So,
So
and
hold
if you
on,
like
I
it,
wanna,
right?
I wanna feed the troll for a minute, real quick.
Oh,
Yo,
feed him.
Johnson.
You're going to feed him from under the bridge.
Yeah, from under the bridge. I'll drop it through the cracks. Johnson, this is a podcast called Splintered Spirits. The only reason why I have a spirit box on right now is so we can laugh at the stupid shit Edward says. Because at this
Yeah.
point, Edward's a clown. Okay. No one's investigating anything. Nobody is doing anything. We are here talking about spirits, talking about people's personal experiences, talking about our experiences, talking about theories, talking about all sorts of things. But
What's my name?
there's no scientific method here to compare.
No, but hold on a second. That's actually not true. You want to talk about that? You
Well,
can't
for this
compare.
episode, I mean.
No, not for this episode, but right. But he's talking. He says things like, "You can't compare any of this to the scrutiny of the scientific method."
Yeah.
And I don't. Look, dude. We run tests all the time, but we do it in a sort of a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like
we're not scientists. Into that.
We don't have grants, but there's certainly ways to test these theories, and we do them in our own way. We're having fun with it. If you want to be a super nerd about it and be like, want us in lab coats or something, and you think that's what science is, more power to you. Just keep listening and keep chatting.
Johnson, if that was true, my friend, you say there shouldn't be. If that was true, the world would never advance. There'd be no scientific breakthroughs, no technology breakthroughs, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Anyway, all right, we've given him enough oxygen. Let's let him keep trolling. I think it's fun, but he's I like having a troll in there. Gets everybody riled up. Yeah, I told you, right? I don't want to block the trolls. I want to see at the end of the day what rolls out, how that changes things. What else? What else can we talk to the good people about? Wow, that time flew today.
I know.
Time flew by. Thank you all on TikTok. Sorry, I'm dedicating enough attention to you guys, but I told you, go to YouTube if you want to see the full thing and see John and see the ghost. But what else, man? What do you got lined up?
Well, I can guarantee that most of the people on TikTok are here on YouTube as well.
That's probably doubling up. Like, wow,
they're doubling up.
That's dedication, guys. Dedication. Appreciate
double it up.
Yeah. What's on deck?
What's pretty interesting? What's pretty interesting about all this, and especially like the men and women that dedicate, like actual scientists and actual doctors that, run all the tests, that no matter what evidence they produce, no matter what, and this is for everything. There are people that believe vaccines don't work, okay? No matter what scientific evidence is produced, you will always have people, no matter what, that don't believe. Always. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Their personal opinions and their faith and everything else will always come in between what is fact, what is reality, and what is real and in your face. So, and the things that we can't see that we discover, so, because there's a lot we can see, we just can't. Well, what do you mean? Stop it. That's not a cop out.
Well, no, nobody knows what happens after we die. I mean, that's sort of the fun of it. We believe.
Yeah.
I personally believe nothing happens. I think you're as dead as Dillinger. And it's just nothing. And then, but John's theory, and part of the thing that I'm sort of seeing because there's something going on, is the energy that's in your body is dispersed, and that energy contains or might hold on to some memories in your mind, because nobody knows how the mind works.
Nobody.
And that's kind of what we're hearing. That energy is legit, and that energy has to go somewhere. It's as good a theory as any.
And that's the thing.
Nexus will be mine.
Oh, Edward, no one gives a shit about the Nexus.
Did he say vengeance will be mine or Nexus will be mine?
All right. Said Nexus will be mine.
Okay.
And that's the crazy thing too. You know, we aren't. Because listen. If I didn't have this theory about our memories, okay. If I didn't have these theories about our memories, I would believe that nothing happens as well. Then that is it. It shuts down. But there's no way that an entity, and by entity I mean human, that can lust, love, create, destroy. The fact that the atoms and molecules into chemicals into our brain for things to be built and created is insane. It's a miracle in itself, and not a miracle from God or anything. Just the fact that the fields affecting fields have even developed something like this that allows us to do what we do as humans, as vile and beautiful as it can be. It's wild. And then to say that it all disappears like this, no matter what, and that's it, just doesn't make sense to me. But the problem is the idea of a God doesn't make sense to me either. No, so if there's no faith, there's no religion.
It's weird.
What can it be? Well,
yeah,
maybe it's as simple as our memories. You know,
look. It's as good a theory as any. I haven't heard anybody say anything different than who's to say it's not? I think that's part of the fun of it, right? And that's what we're trying to do. So what do we got? We've got. Look, I mean, I know you got to. All right, we got a couple minutes here left. I like this. I like this time slot. I hope this time slot works for you. I like the Fast and Furious. No new episode next week. Guys, go get caught up. Get caught up on 1 through 9 because episode 10 is funny and different. That's where we go on the attack. We bring a magnet in there. It's so stupid. But it's pretty funny.
It's fun.
It's pretty fun.
It really is. It's funny.
But again, that goes towards one of the things that we talked about with Lloyd in the past. If you listen to episode 4, is this idea: if it's magnetic waves or magnetic energy, could a magnet or a degausser, hinder spirit activity?
I got one more question for Brandon.
Oh, you're in it. You're in it. You're in it on the troll. Let's go.
Brandon,
how do I use it?
Are you here for me or are you here for him? Just real quick.
Magic.
Real quick. What makes you want to be here if you don't believe in spirits? Or is it the both of us? Because, we might have to start our individual OnlyFans.
Torment.
Only feet.
Only feet.
Do our feet shots with ghosts. Ghost feet.
Oh, wait. Now, all right. Now I lost. Oh, the green shirt. See? Oh, shit. That's good. I see. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. That means we're doing something here. That means we're doing something here.
All right.
Wait.
I like all the little controversy. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Sexy Gary. Gary is sexy, dude. It's the eyes. That's what does it.
It's the eyes, yeah.
It's the eyes.
Well, that and you look like you could be like, if you really look at you, you look like you could be some like battle-hardened elf.
Exactly.
Exactly. The spirit just said exactly. You know what I'm saying? You honestly look like if you fuck with you, you're gonna pull a bow out of nowhere and shoot a magical arrow.
Oh my God.
The magical arrow of love.
Jim.
Oh my God, that's funny, man. Have you been watching? Did you get a chance to watch Last of Us yet?
No.
And this? Oh, dude.
No. I didn't get to watch it. Listen, I know what happens.
Well, don't spoil it for everybody.
I played the game.
Episode 2 might be one of the best hours of TV.
Yeah.
And we're going to nerd it out for about 2 seconds as we close. And Andor season 2 just started. I don't know if you watched season 1, which is the best Star Wars thing ever made. Episode 1 of season 2 is brilliant too. It is just
impossible.
it's unlike anything. The only reason it's just if it didn't say Star Wars on it, people would love it more. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it immediate. But it is it's the guy Tony Gilroy. He's just such a genius. He wrote Michael Clayton in shows that are not Star Warsy, and he's the one who saved Rogue One. I mean, it's just brilliant, dude. Anyway,
Rogue One was great.
You got to find it. You got to find time.
I got to check it out.
Episode 2 of Last of Us is like 1 hour of excellent television. It's super fun. Listen, John, I don't know what else we got for these good people other than catch up, tune up, follow, like, subscribe. Guys, Splintered Spirits and Santa Paranormal merch. You're throwing out gifts. And if you subscribe on TikTok, I got fancy stickers too, folks. Join up. You might get some cool skull stickers on there. I know how to do stickers. Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. Buy a shirt. Get a coffee mug. And listen to the pod. That's what we really want. I want followers on the pod. I want you guys to listen. We want you to like it. We hope you we want your stories. We want your advice. We want to make it better. We want to look at spirits in a way that nobody else does and have some fun with it, because it's a pretty good time, right? I mean, it's like, what's more fun than this? To try to make stuff and try to figure stuff out. So that's funny. That's funny, Brandon. He's got a ghost boner. That's good. That's the best line he had all day. It's like we'll give him a little.
I'm waiting for one of the spirits to say aroused.
We'll give him a little airtime, but it's
there you go.
That's a great way to end it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a fan of Splintered Spirits.
Dude, the post office sucks horribly. I sent out gifts 2 weeks ago, and they're just getting to people.
Oh, you send out stuff to
yeah, the giveaways. Yo, everybody, thank you. Appreciate the listens. Appreciate you being here now.
John, I'm gonna let the skull spin for a while as these guys close out. I will see you. I will talk to you on the other side.
On the other side.
All right, my man.
The other side.
Drowned.
What are you drowning in, Edward?